What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Horrorheads podcast. I am Rich Mallery here with my co-host Jerry Lourenco.
Fucking psyched tonight, Rich.
Yeah, I'm psyched too, and I'll tell you all why in a minute. You can follow us on Instagram at Horrorheads Podcast or email us your love and hate to horrorheadspodcast@gmail.com. You could also watch the video on YouTube. We post a video there. Just look for the Horrorheads channel. Like, subscribe to all the things, or you could keep listening to us the exact way you are listening right now. So today is going to be, we're doing something very different today. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this episode into two parts. We're going to do some of our favorite 80s films, and it's going to be a part one and a part two, but we're going to record the whole thing straight through. First time we're ever doing four movies in one shot, and it's going to be extra challenging for me because we were supposed to record last week, but I was sick, and I got healthy, and now I'm sick again. So it's gonna be fun. But whiskey should help. At least it might not make me healthy, but it will make me forget. So we're gonna talk about Night of the Demons. We're gonna talk about Intruder. We're gonna talk about Chopping Mall and Slumber Party Massacre. Not necessarily in that order. Yeah, we're gonna talk about four films. We're gonna break it up into two parts. We're gonna get really hammered, and part two might be a complete fucking disaster. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's gonna be something.
Yeah, I just want to say if anyone's like picking up for the first time and going to watch on YouTube, I say just skip this one. Just like maybe don't watch this as like your first episode on YouTube because I really don't know how this is going to turn out, and I may just turn off the camera at some point and like so I could lay down and maybe just have the mic next to me. I'm thinking something like that might work as we get into the real deep films of 3 and 4 of what will be considered night 2. So we'll see how this goes. But I am excited. It should be a fun night, and we have a lot of fun movies to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we always try to do something different, right? Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's a complete shit show. It goes off the rails. We don't know. Maybe this could be a disaster. Maybe we never do it again, but we're doing it. So we're here. We're doing it. It's a Monday night. We're going to get hammered in a second. But before we do, so the last time we did an episode, we had on Rudy, who's the host of the Drinks and a Movie podcast. Yeah. And before we got into the discussion, he gave his thoughts about 28 years later. He didn't really care for the film. And I was a bit surprised because the trailers was incredible. Lots of people are raving about it. So I went to go see 28 years later. And yeah, so I know we had like earmarked we were going to talk about it for the show. I definitely don't want to talk about it for the show. It was fucking awful.
Okay.
It was terrible.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know.
Effort.
I hated it. I thought like it was just dumb. The story was really dumb. It's very artistic, which like is fine, but I didn't like a lot of the artistic choices he made. Like it's edited very bizarre. Like it was
really
it was off-putting, and it's hard to describe. Like they would do a thing where like someone's going to shoot a zombie, and then like the second the bullet hits, it's like almost like a freeze frame kind of thing. It was like very odd,
like cartoonish, and
it kind of felt like a video game.
Yeah,
it kind of felt like a video game. Yeah, like the first like I would say 15 minutes of the movie are pretty good, and then like the plot, then you get to the plot point of the movie, and it was really dumb, and it was long. It was over 2 hours. I'll never watch it again, and. The ending is weird. It's like setting up a sequel, and it just came out of nowhere. And like, I get it setting up a sequel, but it was like just odd. I was just like, oh, the sequel's gonna be even worse. So it's a skip for me, man. So like I definitely don't want to do a full episode on it, but I hated it. I really didn't like it. I was excited to see it, man. Like I went to the theater to see it. I was really stoked. It's like a 1.5 bloody knife movie for me.
Wow, really?
I'll never watch it again.
Did you eat some gummy bears though, or popcorn? Did that help it?
You know what? No, I didn't do that. But what I did have was I had mozzarella sticks, which is my go-to.
Here we go. Hell yeah, yeah. You guys movie a little different in California.
Oh yeah, like the food at the AMC theaters out here is really good. There's like good chicken. I had chicken tenders with honey mustard. They were really good. So yeah, I was well fed. I'm
lucky I could get a Diet Coke over here. It's like.
But yeah, so 28 years later, really awful. Again, there are people that liked it, but here's the thing I'm noticing about the internet lately. When a movie first comes out, there's a bunch of people that will like see it at like an advanced screening, and every one of those people says how wonderful it is. And I think people are just trying to
Mm,
be like cool that I saw it
it's
before
hype.
everybody and it was so good. And then like it actually comes out and then people start seeing it and they're like, nah, it wasn't
Mm.
as good as like people are saying. So that's a skip for me.
Yeah, that
Bummer.
that hype train sucks. Well, I'm glad we get to skip it. I'll watch it. You know, obviously when it comes to streaming, I don't like to not be in the know, so I definitely
Yeah.
have to watch it. But I'm glad we're probably not going to talk about it because I really don't love those films. I mean, I kind of like the first one. I think a lot of people like it a lot more than I do. I think it's okay to me. It just feels like a cringy movie. I don't love the first one. I certainly don't like the second one.
Second one I don't
And
like. Yeah.
yeah, so to me it's like it's going the wrong way. It's going this
Yeah.
way.
It
So,
thinks you need to go
you
up
know,
and to the right.
yeah,
That's the most they
so
go.
you know, when I can't expect much more from like the third one except the fact that I probably won't like it. And thinking about that right now, you know, have some really big news for you, Rich.
Okay, I'm ready. Let me hold on.
Especially, especially for you better hold on for this.
Okay.
So I don't know if you heard the buzz that's been circling the internet for the last couple days, but I'm going to break this news right now on
All
this
right, let's do it.
podcast.
What do you
So
got?
Diced is back. Your favorite film, Diced, and it's called Diced Reloaded, and finally, it's a full-length feature film with 30 extra minutes added. Damn, that's exciting.
Well, I guess yeah. Well, they did watch Terrifier 3, and I'm sure they're gonna probably. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it just like that, or?
It's they I think they just added 30 minutes to
Oh, it's
like
the
what they
same
it's the
movie.
same movie. Yeah, it's the
Oh
same movie.
God. Oh, I thought it was a sequel. I was like, here's the
No,
thing.
it's the same movie. It's
I
just
was
the
like,
full length.
if they made a sequel, I'd be like, you know what? I'll give this guy's second movie a chance. But 30 more minutes.
Uh,
Wow.
well, if you remember closely, and I know you're really thinking back because
Well,
it left
yeah,
such an impact on you, but that film was only like 50,
yeah.
55 minutes. It
And
was
it was a
really, really
long
short.
55 minutes.
It was not. It was so good. And now I think they added about 30 minutes or so to it. So it's like a good length film.
So
I'm
is she
excited to check
running
it
for
out.
longer now? Because in the original, she's running for 2 minutes in like one clip.
Let me tell you, I'm going to be the first to let you know what I thought about because I am certainly going to check it out. I am excited for this, and
Is it out now or it's coming out?
I think it's coming out in August. I think is
Okay.
when it's coming out. So I will definitely talk about it. Maybe figure out a way for us to review it. I don't
We're
know,
definitely not going to
but
do that. But you could watch it and talk about it. I will just drink. And speaking of drinking, because
yeah.
my throat is hurting really bad and I
All
need something to
right.
soothe it, I have Four Roses small batch
Ooh,
here.
it's a good one.
Yeah, 45% alcohol, so 90 proof. I'm gonna pour this shit right here. What do you got
Mm.
tonight for us? Oh, is that
Uh,
Crown?
Got
Oh,
some
the
Crown right there,
Crown.
man. I want to do something nice and smooth for tonight, something that I would enjoy, something that's not like a extremely heavy proof, unlike our last episode with Rudy, where we were drinking like 110 plus proof
Yeah.
drinks all night, and that led to a horrible next day. So I'm hoping that this nice, smooth Crown Royal treats me right.
Pablo Escobar's favorite whiskey. So let's cheers
That's
to
it.
that.
Cheers.
Cheers. My throat's better already. All right.
Oh, wow, man, you cannot go wrong with Crown. I'm telling you, like it has such a nice, light, crispy, sweet flavor, and it just goes down smooth. It's almost like there's some honey in there that looks like
Mm.
coat the back of your throat as it slides in with a little bit of burn. I love it, man. I think Crown is a great drink, and I slept on it for a really, really, really long time. I think you were talking about it, and I don't know why. It got delivered accidentally once, and like from like Uber Eats when I had some drinks coming, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it out, and I ended up liking it. So this is probably like in my life, this is probably like the third bottle, maybe, which is not a lot, but I'm getting into it.
It's one of those that I get for gifts a lot for some reason, and I don't know why, but people get me Crown a lot, and I'm not mad at it because I do like it, and it
Yeah,
is one of
look,
those.
because
It
look at
looks
it.
good. It
It
looks
looks
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
and
great looking bottle.
someone once gave me like a set, and it was one of those where it had the bottle and it came with two glasses,
Love
and the
that.
glass has like a little crown at the bottom of
Oh,
it. It's like
hell yeah.
super cool. Yeah, and again, like people slept on it. I did too. And then I just mentioned Pablo Escobar in the TV show Narcos. Like he's
Mm.
always drinking it, and whenever people are drinking something in a TV show, then I got to drink it because
Get a
it
little
must be cool.
thirsty.
Yeah, yeah. So Four Roses small
Or
batch.
roses.
Look, Four Roses just in general is like a nice cheap bourbon. Like just the small batch is a little more pricey, but not really. I think this was like $30, and it's good. It's got a little burn. It's got the sweet caramel taste to it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, Four
Whew.
Roses is d delicious. Definitely one of my favorites. And I always think of it as like a premium brand personally, but I think maybe, back in the day for us spending like 35, 40 bucks on a bottle, that was pretty premium back then. So I still keep that in the back of my head, and the small batch is definitely one of my favorites.
Well, the regular bottle, like the regular Four Roses, you can get here for like $25. Oh, and you know where I saw them. It's again just talking about where they drink whiskey in movies. I believe in Rocky Balboa, like the reboot of Rocky. Paulie is drinking Four Roses. I'm almost positive
You're
he drinks Four
absolutely
Roses.
right. Yes, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. I noticed that, man. You have like that keen eye for spotting bottles. That's pretty cool. I always get excited whenever I see like some blue label in the background or something like that. That always gets me kind of hyped up. I'm like, I want some blue label now.
You know what? I've actually never had Blue Label, and I mean, like, I just don't spend a lot of money on bourbon, but I'm gonna do it when we do a special. Maybe we both do that for something special. We'll
Mm,
figure it out.
now you're
Um,
thinking. We'll figure out a way to incorporate it. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah, all right. So let's talk about some 80s movies. So we're gonna
Woo!
start with just because why not? Let's start with Night of the Demons
Night of the
from
Demons.
1988. And so just how this episode works is both Jerry and I each picked two films to talk about. I picked Night of the Demons and Chopping Mall, and Jerry picked Slumber Party Massacre and Intruder. And all these movies kind of, they mean a little something to us. Like they're movies we kind of came up watching. Night of the Demons is special to me because number one, I did actually see it in the theater in 1988, and I was way too young to be watching
Holy
this
shit.
movie in the
What?
theater. But that's and I'll never forget it because it like I'd never seen a movie like this before. Like I was used to like Friday 13th and Halloween, and then all of a sudden I was like seeing this movie, which I was like, holy shit. But the reason why I picked it too is it has nostalgia. There's a remake of Night of the Demons, which I haven't seen in a long time, so I can't give my opinion on it. However, when the remake was being put out, I worked for the distributor, and one of my jobs was to do the marketing for that movie. And to market the movie, I threw a party. And I lived in New York at the time. I threw a party in LA, and we hired like pole dancers, and we had punk bands, and it was like super dope
I'm
demons
listening.
themed party. It was really fun. And that was the first time I'd ever come out to LA. And that moment when I was throwing that party, I was like, I need to move to LA. That's like what did
Wow.
it. I was like, because I wanted to move somewhere, I didn't know where. And I just felt the energy and the vibe, and I'm just like, this is like where I want to be. So even though that was the remake of this movie, that kind of is really special to me. And I did. Kevin Tenney, the director of Night of the Demons, was at that party
Oh,
because he
that's
was kind of like
sick.
a producer. Yeah, it was super. It was a lot of fun. And for a minute, I was kind of friends with the director of the remake, and that was really cool. And worked on one of his films. But yeah, so this movie is really special to me. And the original is like again one of my favorites. I've seen it tons of times. And I was excited to see it again to see if it held up because I haven't seen it in a while. So I'm going to give the plot of it really quick. 10 teenagers party at an abandoned funeral parlor on Halloween night. When an evil force awakens, demonic spirits try to keep them from leaving and turn their gathering into a living hell. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of typical like 80s movie. A bunch of people that would probably never be friends kind of show up
Yup.
at a party. Shit goes off the rails, and one by one, they're turned into demons. And one thing that I really like about this movie in general, and we'll talk about some of the things I like that it's multiple killers. Like at some
Mm,
point in the movie, there's like only a handful of people running around, and they're getting stalked by people. Like they'll go down one hallway, and then a demon pops out, and then they'll go
yeah.
down, and another demon pops out. It's almost like Bugs Bunny in a way, where it's like, they keep like you think you're safe, and then you're not. And I kind of like that. And the only time I'd really seen that before is in like zombie movies, right? I haven't seen
Yeah.
a movie where like it's like a home. This is like almost like a home invasion movie, like where they're trapped in a space or survival horror. They're trapped in a space, and like the only way they can kind of survive is to make it till dawn, or to cross. the climb over the wall to get out, which is difficult in itself because it is covered in barbed
Ooh.
wire. Yeah, and you know what? Like this movie holds up. It's kind of corny, like it's kind of silly. It's very 80s. It has that feel. You know what? And I noticed this. I think when I was watching these movies, I forget which one I watched first, but 80s movies, like these kind of movies, have a certain kind of humor to them. Like they're
Yeah.
kind of like almost goofy in a way, but like not really. It's hard to describe, but they all have like a vibe that like you don't see in a lot of movies now. It's just like a certain kind of vibe to it. And I don't know if it's like the dialogue is like there's a lot of these like one-liners that they kind of throw in, but it works for me. I don't know. They're fun and scary at the same time, I feel. Um, Whereas movies now like maybe try too hard to be both, but like these movies kind of effortlessly do that. So anyway, I talked for a minute. Like, how do you feel about this movie?
Yeah, no problem, man. No, that was great insight. Nice hearing about that history for you. That's great, and that this movie kind of ties into that. For me, I struggled a little bit with this film, and I've watched it in the past a few times. This is not the first or the fifth time I think I watched this film. I watched it quite a bit, but I like the concept. I love the concept. I love when the film gets going, but there is fucking like literally 50 minutes where like nothing at all is really happening. It's just like a lot of build up with a lot of characters that I don't particularly care for. And I was like, all right, enough. What got me through it was, yeah, there's definitely like some humor in there. There was like Judy's creepy brother that like pops out of the closet and he's like nice bodacious boobies, sis, or something like that. Like he actually makes a
What a creep!
comment about
Yeah,
his sister, like, and
and
he
they
kind
were
of saw
nice. They
her.
were bodacious.
Yeah, but that's his brother, and it's super creepy. I'm like, wow, this is weird. And there was that one stooge character who was like really it's just an evil piece of shit that was like really degrading to women and stuff like that. So I was like really looking forward to him like getting killed really quick. They mix in a little bit of nudity and stuff like that. There were definitely some things, but I think by the time we actually get to like the demons and the chase scenes that you were talking about, I'm out already. I think that's my problem is it's not holding me for that full time. And every time I think something should happen, it doesn't. And I'm like, oh, come on, what are we waiting for? That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I did make a note. Like it's probably 40 minutes before the demons actually like make their presence known. Like there is a lot of buildup in this, and that is like so. There's like two types of 80s movies, right? One where like something happens right away and then
Yeah.
nothing happens for like
Yeah.
40 minutes. Or ones like this where again nothing happens for the first. And I think when we get to Intruder, that was kind of like that too, where it took a while to get
Took a
going.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're very similar, which is like why I'm glad we're gonna kind of talk about that one next. But yeah, it does take a minute. For me though, like I'm actually I'm interested. Like I think it's like I like the one-liners, I like the banter. The characters are, yeah, they're all kind of pieces of shit. But I'm kind of like into like how they're all kind of arguing and stuff like that. And I think like again, there's like some nudity and stuff like that to kind of break it up. So I kind of give it a pass for taking a little while to get going because I am kind of engaged in it and like I do think like I want to see like how they get to this party. I want to see like what happens. And to me, I did find it humorous and stuff like that. However, I do get your point that like by the time it pops off, like you could easily be checked out if you're expecting like maybe if I'd like had just seen it for the first time, like if I probably watched it for the first time now and I wasn't watching it for the show, I probably would have turned it off. You're probably right. I probably would have got really bored. But because I've seen it a bunch and like I kind of get into the vibe of it, I kind of can disregard that it takes a little while before anyone gets killed or turned into a demon or there's some like kind of action that goes on. So I get it, but like for me it worked. I don't know. Like I'm invested in it.
I'm usually into like that mundane kind of, and I talk about it all the time on here. I'm into like that mood setting and all that mundane stuff. So normally I would like, to see them, they're going shopping and they're shoplifting all the
Yeah,
supplies
it's funny.
for
Like,
the party, and then they're like driving to the party, and there's like that weird kind of interaction at Judy's house, and that guy Sal shows up. There are things, but I just feel like there just maybe wasn't enough of it to like keep me locked in, but there were definitely some things that surprised me about this film. I thought like some of the camera work in this film was totally unexpected and totally did not imagine like it'd be this sophisticated for what I would consider a B movie. I think is what a lot of
yeah,
people
yeah,
would consider this.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's like a bad B movie that would be on like super late at
Yep.
night, and they had like spinning camera effects, and they had like all these like things where the camera's turning, and like it was like really cool. And I'm like, wow, I'm like that, like how'd they get like so many things right? And then just for me, I just feel like the pacing was off just a little bit of the action, but there were a lot of things I did like, about the film. It's just that pacing. So, I think really like once the demon things start, I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. And then I feel the same way with you. It's like that cat and mouse kind of going on for like a while, where it's like, you're hiding out and you're ducking, down like, a hallway, but then there's someone else over there. I mean, it was definitely had some moments like that. I had some good jump scares where I was like, oh, that was kind of scary. Some, definitely some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm just on the fence with this one for some reason, just because of the pacing issues, I feel.
So you know what it's like what I'm thinking, and it's like these are like how those like 80s movies were. So like take Sleepaway Camp for example.
Yeah.
I would say probably more than half of that movie is just camp shenanigans, right?
Yeah,
And it's just
definitely.
comedy, and it's but it works because it's funny. Now maybe there's some more things that happen, like maybe there's like a killer 8 minutes in, and that kind of gets you through it. But most of that movie is probably that until it really starts popping off towards like the back half of it. But the first half is just them playing baseball and like making jokes and stuff like that. So like this fits in with that. Now again, if it
I can
doesn't
see
work for
that.
you, it doesn't work for you. But that's kind of like how these movies were, where they were again like half comedy and half like horror. And like you said, B movie, USA Up All Night, like that's
Yeah.
totally this isn't cinema. However, yeah, I agree with you. I think that there is some interesting camera techniques. I think the movie looks higher budget than it is, and I read the budget was 1.2 mil,
Oh
which sounds
wow.
like a lot, but like it's really not a lot to make a movie like this. Um, the location I thought was really great. Like it's like just creepy. There's lots of stuff to look at. Like I just thought it was really like every room they go
I like
into
the
is like
set piece. Yeah, for
unique and
sure. Yeah.
interesting. Like it just you kind of get into it for me. And I thought the demon makeup was really good considering this is a low budget 80s movie. And I thought it was unique. Like I liked how they did like the yellow and red eyes. And I thought one of the characters, I think it's Stooge or someone gets burned, and like the burn makeup was
Oh
really good.
yeah.
But one thing I made a note of that's really like it was so silly. Like so the demons have like this really cool makeup. And then there's this one character, Sal, who's kind of like the dick. Like
Yeah. The
he's such a
Italian
piece of
guy.
shit, the
Yeah.
Italian guy, and he's like really comical because like he's so just like over the top. He was just like his face was just like painted white, like it looked like. And they do this
They're
one
like they ran
shot.
out of money.
Yeah, they do this one shot where they're just showing one by one all the demons as they're going after the final girl, and it's like cool makeup, uh, white face, cool makeup, cool makeup, and it's just like I paused it, I was like, that looks so
That's
bad, but like,
yeah.
yeah, but most of it, I think the makeup I thought was really, really good and like well done. But yeah, I mean, like I get what you're saying, the pacing, like if you're not in the vibe for this kind of movie, like I could see like let's fucking get to it. But I don't know, for me it worked. I liked the jokes. I liked, the scene you were talking about early where they need to get food and supplies for this party. And what they do is like Linnea Quigley,
Yeah.
like Scream Queen Linnea Quigley, is like bent over showing her panties. And the two guys at the counter are just like staring, like drooling while like her friend is like filling up her bag with shit. Like I thought that was so clever.
I
Like,
mean, yeah. I mean, when you set me up like that, I'm expecting like, a riot, I'm ready to go. Like you're hitting like those highs that quick. I'm like, this is funny. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, where does this go? And then I don't know, the party felt a little lame, and like there
Isn't
was that
every 80s movie party lame though?
there was that weird Bauhaus interpretive dance
Yeah.
that was a little weird. I'm like, like I just feel like there's a couple things they could have did different, even though I thought that girl Angela was like super hot, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wait a minute, they should be showing more of her, but um. It was just yeah, it was just those little things like that. But I did find a lot of it creepy. I did enjoy the makeup. I think when like Angela, I don't know why this always gets me. This always gives me like a little bit of a chill. But like whenever I see someone kind of floating down a hallway, it kind of
Oh
creeps
yeah.
me out a little
Same.
bit. Like even
Same.
like in the craft, like when it
Yep.
happened,
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I creeped out by like this like it's a weird technique, and it just I don't know. It's like I don't know, unhuman or something like that that it kind of like bugs me out. I think the first time I saw it was like in like some 60s horror film, that one with that house.
Oh, like the Vincent Price one, I think you're talking
Yeah,
about,
I
right?
can't think of it right
It's either
now.
House on Haunted Hill
That's
or
it.
The
Yep,
Haunting of
that's
Hill
it.
House. I don't know which one. It's
The
like I
house,
get those
the house
confused.
on Haunted Hill. Yeah. So that's the first time I think I saw it. And it just gave me the chills. And that was like in black and white.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
It's a
that
creepy
is,
ass movie.
yeah, I'm like, that's scary as fuck. And then it happens here. I'm like, man, it's still working for me. I'm like, stay away.
Mhm.
I'm like, don't come through the TV, you know? It's just, it was definitely things like that I did enjoy. I liked when they're outside and they were trying to figure out like where like the door went and the gate and all that stuff. Cause I mean, like you'd be like what the fuck is going on here,
Yeah.
so I felt like some dread at times because I'm like, yeah, where is the door? And so there are definitely some things I liked. I thought there was a massive amount of characters, and with that and the promise of demons, I think just my expectation was for it to just move a little bit quicker. I don't want to harp on it, but I think
No, no,
I
I
think it
get
was
it.
just like a combination of those things because like as soon as I saw I'm like 10, I'm like, they're all kill bait, right? I'm like, this is why they're here. I'm like, they all have to go fairly quick. And it just took a while to get to it. I think it was just like kind of like that balance that was off. But there was plenty I liked about it. I thought there was a huge plot hole in it because you mentioned by like dawn that they had to like escape or at least last until dawn, but they kept talking about like this was able to occur during Halloween, and that's what freed them to be able to come out and attack people. Doesn't Halloween end at like 12?
Good point. Yeah.
I'm like, it's past 12. I'm like, what's
Yeah, they don't
sunrise?
get there until like
Sunrise is not like that's not the next day. The next day is at 12 if we're
that's a
being
good point.
technical. If we're talking about like Halloween and this is what like kind of unlocked the doors for these demons to like escape and kind of enter into the world. I'm like, well, I mean 12 o'clock, I think it's the cutoff, right?
No, you're right. You're right. That's
So, that's a
that's a good
plot
point.
hole.
Yeah, okay, so it could have been written a little better.
No,
uh,
listen, you don't watch this. You don't watch this for the writing.
no,
I just thought
yeah,
that was like such a funny plot hole that they
no,
went
that
on
is.
and they told this entire story probably twice about like Halloween, and then they referred to it later on, like why they have to make it until dawn because of Halloween. I'm like, motherfuckers, you just gotta make it like, does anyone watch? Like it's like 12
They're
o'clock, you're
yeah,
good.
yeah. Demons probably don't start fucking around until like 12:30. Like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, they should have said that though. Be like, demons
that's a
operate
good
from
point.
12 to
6
6
to 6.
a.m.,
Yeah.
and you need to survive it. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. But yeah, I thought that was funny. But I mean, I guess for you, I mean, what would be like your favorite part of this film? Like, what is the part you look forward to the most? Because like I want to get into this film as well. Like I want to rewatch it and maybe like look at it in a different way. So like what is like your like kind of like crescendo moment in this film?
I mean, it's Linnea Quigley with the lipstick.
Okay. All
And
right,
just to
fair,
set up
fair,
the scene, it's
fair.
like an iconic scene. I've never seen anything done like that in a movie before. And kind of what happens is like these people kind of it starts off the demon gets into one person and then they like kiss somebody and then it gets into them and then they kind of transfer it throughout. and Linnea Quigley's in full demon mode, and she's like painting her face with like lipstick.
Oh
She got
yeah.
this like heart, and then she starts like painting her tits, and then she like pushes the lipstick in one of her nipples, and it's like,
He's
for me, it's like one of the
creep out.
freakiest
Yeah.
scenes. And I was reading that they did the scene, and then they're like, they thought about it, they're like, that's too much, like that's too silly, it's too out there, like let's get rid of it. And then like the more, and they were getting rid of, they were going to cut that scene, but then everybody loved it and they kept it in. And again, that like makes the movie. And I think at that point, it's not just that that scene is like crazy and like creepy and hot. It's just that's the point where it's like, what the fuck am I
What's gonna
watching right
happen?
now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like this is crazy. Like how the fuck did that happen? Like I don't know next, like what's gonna happen next. I'm not sure. So that like for me really sets the movie off, where you're just like, oh fuck, this is gonna get dark. Um, and let's see. Oh, one thing, another thing I like about this movie too, and the more I'm watching some of these like not just 80's movies, just like these kind of movies in general, when they're it gets into final girl mode. And
Mm,
we'll talk about like I think Intruder next. And once a movie gets to final girl mode, to me, a lot of times they slow to a fucking crawl. And it's just
yeah.
like someone chasing around the same person for like 25 minutes and nothing really happens. What I liked about this is there was like two final characters. There was like the final girl and like one
Judy.
of the
Yeah.
Judy, and then one of the other party goers, which so it was like there's
Roger.
more
Yeah.
Roger. So there's more stuff kind of happening. It wasn't just like they're just chasing her for like a half hour. They're chasing two and then they split up. So there was a lot of stuff kind of going on for me that kept me like invested in the movie. One thing I will say for people like again, you're not watching this movie for the writing, right? You're not watching it for the act. The acting is really bad.
Wait, I
It's
want to
really
say
over the top.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
say Linnea Quigley did really, really well in this film.
But so over the
If you
top.
ever watch a Linnea Quigley film, then you have a sense of like exactly what her acting is
Yeah.
going to be like. I feel like she brought it up like 2 or 3 steps for this particular film, and I think it was some of her best acting ever because I was like really freaked out by her, and I thought she
I
did
agree.
a great job in this particular film, and I don't think I've ever thought she was a great actress. So
No. Yeah, the scene where she's like fucking that one guy,
yeah.
and then like and he's kind of like, okay, this is weird, but I'm gonna go with it. And then she's like,
I mean,
why are you
would
staring
you?
at me? Like, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, why are you staring at me? And like she gets really fucking creepy. And like I agree. Like, yeah, I mean her acting is not good, but like it's yeah, it's
It
she
was on
does creep me
point.
out. Yeah.
It really matched like this film, and it did create like a really creepy tone. And really, the last 20 minutes of this movie is probably the best 20 minutes, for me because it's like there is a lot of chasing and there's a lot of excitement and they're trying to figure things out and they're getting lost and then trying to figure out how they're going to escape and then the way that they try to escape is like probably like a really grueling way. So now you're starting to feel like some character pain when they're actually trying to like climb the barbed wire fence and you're like, oh my
It's
God,
brutal. That's actually
what are
really
they
brutal.
doing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're
really
like,
graphic.
what is happening here? And that guy Roger, he fell, and I was like, he did that on purpose, and I was like
Yeah.
mad. I was like mad as hell. I'm like, fuck you, Roger. I'm like, go back and get her. And all of a sudden he pops back up. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe it was it could just been a mistake in the acting, but I was like, why did this guy just disappear off the screen? He like totally disappears off the screen, but then he comes back to help her. But yeah, I mean, all that was just like added to that excitement. They're racing against, trying to escape, trying to get away from the demons. There's the clock of like, when sun's rise going to occur, and there's so much going on that I just wish like there was just a little bit more of that a little bit sooner because it really does hit. It hits at the end, and I get it. I get why you like it because it does like it ends on a note, and it's like holy shit. But I just think the song is long.
Yeah.
I guess is
Yeah.
what I.
Yeah, once you get to the back half of the movie, like once you get to that like 45-minute mark, it doesn't slow down at all. Like it goes and it keeps you like very invested and like there's a lot of shit that happens in that last, but you're right. It does take a minute to build. I like it. You don't. There's also like I was trying to think I made a note of this. There's one scene in the movie where Judy gets grabbed by like an arm, like a severed arm, that like
Mm.
so the scene before it is the guy's like fucking his girl in a coffin, and then one of the demons comes and like slams the coffin on his arm till it pops off. And anyway, so Judy enters this room at some point, and like the arm grabs her leg, and she screams for probably the longest time I've ever heard anyone scream. It's like so comical because it's like I don't know if it was meant to be funny or if it just was, but like she's probably screaming for a good like 30 seconds just nonstop while this. I'm like I was cracking up and like I'm like this is so silly. It's so B movie, but it worked for me. I don't know, it works.
I mean, that was probably my favorite scene in the film when that couple was in that
When they're
coffin.
fucking in the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was just unexpected, and then it seemed like that type of couple. Like when you kind of getting introduced to the
Yeah.
characters, like there are a lot of like extra characters in there, and I'm like, I don't know if these characters are gonna really do anything. And to me, I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. You just wouldn't think a coffin and the way they die was kind of crazy. Those are definitely some crazy kills there. So
Yeah,
I did
and they
enjoy
did
that
like
part.
they did like the shot like where it's like inside like so the coffin door slamming on the guy's arm and did the shot from like inside the coffin of like the
So
demon
cool.
slamming. That was really cool. Yeah, again, this movie's better than it should be, right? Because it is B movie. It's like I wouldn't say it's good. It's entertaining for me. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's better than it should be. And it did really well. So it like
Really?
again cost 1.2 million to make. It premiered in Detroit, and then went to New York City in Thanksgiving, and it made like around 3 million and stayed in theaters for a while. And they made two sequels, which I've seen, do not remember them, but I've seen them fucking probably 20 years ago. Don't remember them, but they did make two sequels, so it, like those are direct to video. But so it was good enough that they did that, and then they remade it. So classic movie. I also like I like the very final scene with the old man.
Oh yeah,
So
unexpected. Yeah.
yeah, so the movie starts off this like crotchety old man who kind of gets like the kids kind of make fun of him and shit like that. So he has this plan that he's gonna put razor blades in the apple, like the urban legend that you always hear. Like when
Yeah.
you're like I don't know how kids are now because they don't really trick or treat like they used to. But for us, it was like your parents had to check your candy because you don't know if like people are gonna put razor blades in it. So they kind of like played into that, and then at the very end of the movie, it comes back where this old man, it's just the old man and his wife, and you're like, okay, like what's gonna happen now? And he like eats the apple with the razor blade, and the makeup for the throat is like this blood. It's really
That was
good.
sick. That
It
was
was a
really
really
sick.
like I thought it was a really kind of humorous way, like sick but funny way to kind of end the movie, and just kind of fits the tone of it. I
You
again,
do laugh. I mean, it was gory, but you do kind of laugh, and it's not even like you hate that guy that much because he's in it for like so little. I would say his
yeah.
whole screen time was probably 3 minutes max, and
Hmm.
you're just like, yeah, fuck you, old guy. And I don't know how anyone put razor blades in Skittles because that's what I was eating when I was like, trick or treating. But my parents still they checked it for some reason. But yeah, I get that. Yeah, I thought that was definitely a cool way to end it. And again, it's like that surprise ending. So it's the ending after the ending. And
Like I forgot
uh,
about that guy. I was like, oh yeah, like that's cool. They brought that back, and it kind of again, it fits the humor of the movie. Not to say this is like a quote unquote funny movie, but it does have like those subtle kind of things, which again I appreciate. So yeah, I don't have anything else to really to say on it. So you want to just kind of rate this one? So
yeah.
what we do on this show is we rate each movie on a scale of 0 to 5 bloody knives, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. And we play a little drinking game. And how that works is the number of bloody knives I give a movie are the number of sips Jerry needs to take, and vice versa. So I'm going to go first with my rating.
Mm.
Yeah, look, I love this movie. I've seen it a bunch of times. It's very nostalgic for me. Is it a perfect movie? No. Like, could it be better? Yeah. But I love it. It's entertaining. It's always going to be in my rotation, and I'm giving it a 4.
Wow. Holy cow. That is quite shocking. Yeah, and again, these films that we're talking about tonight, they're not like we're not breaking down The Godfather or Gone with the Wind or something
Yeah.
like that. So, we are going to be focused on really like what we think are like the funny or good kills and things like that. So, yeah, not too much to add on this one. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I don't know. I'm probably gonna try watching it again. I think I wait every couple of years and I try to watch this movie. Maybe that one day it'll just hit right. But for now, giving it 2.5.
All right, so I'm gonna drink 2.5. Jerry's gonna drink 4. Let's cheers to that. If you're at
Cheers.
home, sip with us.
Mm.
Mm. Well, it's not making me feel better, but I am feeling lightheaded, which is good.
Wow, that is good. And you said you saw this in the theaters, right?
Yeah, I actually saw this in the theater. I believe my stepdad took me to see it on like a Saturday afternoon, and we were the only people in the theater.
Damn.
Yeah, and again, I think I was definitely way too young for this movie,
And
but fuck it, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
I mean, yeah, that was 88, right?
Yeah, I don't want to say how old I was, but I was not. I was not a teenager yet.
Definitely not. I mean, 88, that was a pretty good year for films, don't you think?
Oh no. Shit.
I mean,
No,
it's not a bad year for films. There's some good stuff out there.
I know where this is going, and I don't know the answer to that. Was it a good year for film? So let's find out when we play this drinking game that I'm assuming you're going to hit me with.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're about to play a drinking game, and I didn't know what drinking game we were going to play. It was unintentionally left up to you without you even knowing it. So this drinking game, because you went to go see this film in 1988 with your stepfather, and you were too young to be seeing it, we're going to call this one. It's a classic game we play here. Was it 1988?
Fuck. That's gonna be a long night. All right, let's play it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so are you ready to play the game, Rich?
Yeah, and now is this one sip each, or is this progressive
Yeah,
sips?
yeah, no, this is
Okay.
just one sip each. This is the classic drinking game, and for anyone who doesn't know, Richard's going to guess the year if it was 1988 or if it was it's not 1988. If he gets it right, I will take a sip, and if he gets it wrong, then he will take a sip. So let's get ready to play.
All
Let's
right,
start
let's
off
do
with,
it.
with something we discussed about reviewing, but we didn't actually review it at the time. But we did talk about this recently. So let's start off with The Blob.
I'm gonna say the remake was 1988.
It was 1988.
Nice.
Oh, man, you're still good at this game, huh? All right.
For now, I'm good at the first.
Mhm.
I have to rewatch that. Like, I don't, it's funny. Like the original Blob, I remember seeing that as like a little kid, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid. Um, I need to rewatch the remake because I think I've only seen the remake like once.
Mm,
I know Rob
yeah.
Zombie was going to remake it at one point, and it just never happened. That would have been kind
Seems
of
too
cool.
complicated to do
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah, the CGI would probably be terrible.
Yeah, it'd just be terrible. All right, let's try another one. Oh, I like this film. Fright Night.
I don't remember that movie. I'm gonna say it's 1989. I'm gonna say no.
You're right. Your year is
Nice.
your year is wrong, but you are
Ah,
right.
when was it?
So,
87?
85.
85. Okay.
Mm.
That's another one I saw as a kid. I don't remember it. Never saw
It
it since.
feels like something that's later 80s, and that's why I chose it because it feels like something that's like 88, 89, but it's actually really, I mean, it's kind of old. It's mid 80s.
Wow.
So it's kind of shocking. All right. Oh, you love this one. This is one of your favorites right here.
Okay.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, let me think about this for a second.
So it's part eight. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna say it's not 88.
Damn, you are
Oh, whew.
on a roll right now.
When was that one? 87?
89.
89. Yeah, I was almost gonna watch that the other night, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather just get drunk instead.
Mm.
I decided not to.
How about this that we just talked about like 2 weeks ago? We mentioned it. Argento's opera.
I'm gonna say not 88.
Oh man, you are doing really good
Ah,
tonight, man.
nice.
I'm getting a little nervous here.
Woo!
Oh
Thank
my
God.
God. Mm. You're 4 for 4. We got a couple left. Couple
Oh
left
shit.
here. All right.
Let's see if I can go undefeated. Let's do it.
Let's see. How about this one? Waxwork.
Mm. I'm gonna say not 88.
All right, you finally got one wrong.
Woo! All right, I'll take
1988.
a sip.
Take a sip, please, man.
Never
Oof.
seen that.
Getting messed up over here. I've seen it. It's all right.
Mm.
It's one of those things you just watch. You don't really care.
Like I probably seen it on, like USA Up All Night and just don't remember it.
Yeah, that's exactly where you'd see a film like that. How about that film Cutting Class?
That is, oh shit. I feel like we did that at a year challenge. I feel like, and I got it wrong. I'm gonna say it is 88.
It's actually 89.
Ah, okay.
You are going down. You are
I think I got it wrong the last time
four and two. I
too.
think you're 4 and 2. You're
All
gonna,
right.
yeah,
I
it's
was
all
on a
right. We
roll.
we only got a couple left here.
Whew.
Let me see. What am I gonna go with here? Let me throw something at you here. Oh, we love this movie. How about this one? Ready? The Nail Gun Massacre.
That is not 88.
Yeah, that is definitely not 88. Yeah.
I'm
What year do you think it is?
gonna say 82.
Mm, 85.
Oh wow. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems older. That movie seems really older.
Does seem older. All right, we got one more. We got the final question here, and you know the deal with this, Rich. You could bet up to 3 sips if you like. I think you're doing fairly well. I think you're 5 for 2, so the odds are in your favor. So, what would you like to do with this
You know
last
what?
one?
Since we're tonight's gonna be one of those nights, like I'm no regrets. No regrets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say let's bet 3 sips on this one.
Oh, now I'm not feeling too good because things are not going in my favor, and I think I have just about 3 sips left in my glass here. So I'm going to be finishing my first drink like within 20 minutes of this podcast starting,
Amazing. I
which is
already tapped
crazy.
mine, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Excuse me, this is a little crazy. All right, so here we go for the final movie for 3 sips. I have two here to choose from.
Pick the one I know.
Okay. All right. I think you know that one. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. All right, going with it. Pumpkinhead.
Oof, man. I'm gonna say not 88.
Oh, thank God. It's 88.
Ah,
It's
is it really?
88. Yes, it's
Damn.
88. Nice. Take
Mm.
those 3 sips. All right, just for fun, if I had said this one, what would you have said? Ready? Society.
I'm gonna say 88.
That was 89, so you would have
All
gotten both
right.
wrong.
All right.
All
There we go.
right. That was the toss up. Those are the two. I
Yeah.
always like to play a little toss up there. Well, you did pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
overall, I
Yeah.
think you were 5 for 3, but you took a lot of sips. So I think you actually took more sips than me. So you actually took 6 sips, and I took five.
So all right. So we're both losers, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
No
right.
one won that.
Oh man, it's been a minute since we played that one, but that one
Uh,
definitely is a lot of fun.
Damn, I started strong and then I went off the rails. All right, so let's
Yeah.
pivot a little bit. Let's talk about a movie that was 1989.
Mm.
We're talking about Intruder, and this is a movie you picked. I'm going to give you the plot of it really quick. The overnight stock crew of a local supermarket find themselves being stalked and slashed by a mysterious maniac. Of course, there's more to the plot than that. That's kind of like the simple part of it. There is a girl stalked by her ex-boyfriend. There's like a bunch of just shenanigans that happen. But basically, it's a bunch of people stuck in a supermarket overnight getting picked off one by one. I kind of get why you like this movie because I know you're a huge fan of Open 24 Hours,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I do feel this feels similar-ish to that movie, right? Is that kind of
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah?
exactly. I love it. I love the setting. Put it in the supermarket, have a bunch of, like you said, like shenanigans kind of going on, building up that atmosphere inside and outside of the supermarket. I really like this film, and I think what I like about this film is that it really feels like an 80's film to me. This may be 1989, and I was actually shocked. Like I was like,
It
I
feels
seen
older.
yeah, I
Yeah.
seen this like 15, 20 times. I was like, I had to look like 3 times. I'm like, I'm not looking at the right film. I'm like, it's not 1989 because it does feel like what, like 84, right?
I mean, I don't know.
83. Like it feels like an
It feels
old
older. It does
film.
feel
Yeah,
older.
it
Yeah.
it it does. And there is a lot going on. For some reason, all the films we chose tonight have unusually large casts, and this one
Right.
has a large cast as well. There's quite a bit of people, and a lot of them are just kill bait. A lot of them are like really famous people in disguise, kind of like just popping in on the film to help a friend out. Like Bruce Campbell is in this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I was
Raimi
shocked
is
that to
in
see
this.
him and see both of
Like
them in this. Yeah.
yeah, they're just like kind of popping in. Ted Raimi is in it. I mean, everyone just kind of pops in. But yeah, I mean, I really like the setting of this film. I like how it begins. There's like that really awkward fight scene
Really
with
awkward. That was terrible.
with Craig, and there's like these weird slow punches and weird sound effects, and someone gets thrown into a bag of chips, and like and then they decide, like, which is like, it just, this felt like so 80s to me. They're like, let's get a search party together and like split up and go find Craig somewhere in this supermarket. And I
Which
thought that
wasn't
was,
very big. It wasn't a big supermarket. So
no,
it's
it was like 6 aisles, and saying, but I thought, but there's a lot of like nooks and crannies, multiple floors. There was outside areas, warehouses. I mean, there definitely was like a lot of cool parts to this film for them to kind of search for him. But I thought that was just like so funny. It's like, all right, guys, let's go find him. And it's like, this guy's like a dangerous guy, and they all like, yeah, let's split up. And there's a couple like women there. They're like, yeah, go ahead, go find them. The rest of these people are like teenagers. I just thought that was like funny, and there's just a lot of things I like about this film. I mean, like the kills were insane. They were absolutely insane. And really, if you could talk about anything in this film, it's really, it's the kills.
So here's the thing. So I'd actually never seen this movie before. It was
What?
the first time I've ever seen it. Yeah. And it
I
wasn't
can't
even
believe
like
that.
yeah, I've never seen it. I know
I
you talked about it a bunch.
thought
I've
you
never
have.
seen it.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna say watching this movie for the first time, I have the almost exact feeling that you had about Night of the Demons. This movie takes a long time to get going. Like there's not even a kill until like 35 minutes in, and that kill's like off camera, so you don't even see it. So for the first half hour is a lot of like shenanigans, and it's like goofy dialogue, and it is kind of funny, and it's got that 80s vibe to it, so you can get into it.
Yeah.
But like for me, like watching this for the first time, I was kind of like, I started out being like, God, this is really boring. Like, I am not
Mm.
interested. And then, like, again, the first few kills are kind of like whatever. Then they start getting really fucking graphic. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I get it. Like, now I'm kind of getting into it. And at some point, when it does get to final girl territory, I'm like, okay, like it starts to drag a bit. But I do think this will end up in my rotation, though. I think I'm going to
Oh.
watch it again. I wouldn't say that I liked it because I do think it took a while. And I feel like a lot of it almost felt like improv. Like I'm just like, what is actually happening? Like, they're just kind of like hanging out talking, and I'm like, is this like
Scripted.
what am I watching here? Like it's really weird, like the way it kind of is. And one thing I'll say, you talked about like Night of the Demons and the camera work. There's so much trick photography, like trick cameras in this one. There's like and it happens like so much that it was almost like distracting and became funny at one point. Like, where are they gonna put the camera now? Like there's like they do this a couple of times where like the camera's inside the shopping cart as it's
Oh
like
yeah,
moving.
yeah.
I wrote some other notes. Where is it? I don't know, but there's lots of things where like the
I
camera's
mean,
in
they
like a
shot
bucket
from
of
like,
water.
yeah, they did that. They like shot from like above, where you're like looking at them from like another aisle. I think they shot off of like the doorknob or something like that, so you're actually seeing the reflection of like a doorknob.
The
I mean,
camera's in
there
the
was so,
phone. Like
yeah, there was
there's a
so
lot of
many
techniques.
unconventional, like the film we just talked about did that a little bit. This one really did over the top, and I think they were just trying to flex their camera work, because I guess that's the person who made this film. I forgot what this guy's known for, Scott Spiegel. I think I don't think he's traditionally a director or something like that. I think he just decided to direct this film. I think I read. So I'm not sure if like he's more into like, cinematography and things like that. But I mean, they're like, for this type of film to have any sort of camera
Oh,
work
I
to
agree.
even
I agree.
mention is like, you just like, what the hell? Like,
It
why would they
doesn't fit
even,
this
yeah,
movie. Yeah.
why would they waste their time trying to do a good camera angle for this particular film? And I think
Yeah.
that's what makes this film really, really unique, because it really surprises you. There's these really crazy camera angles, and there's these really over the top bloody kills, and almost both of them are kind of unexpected for like how it starts out, which you said. It's like it's just silly. It's just people standing around, someone stocking shelves. There's a close up when he's like pricing like the,
It's weird. Yeah,
like
it's
the
bizarre.
macaroni and cheese or whatever it is. And it's like, man, why am I watching this for like 45 seconds? Guy changing the blade on his razor. It's like a lot of Ishtar is happening, throughout this film. But I think it builds that mood for me, and I think it really kind of helps like let those big moments hit harder because we're just waiting for like kill to kill to kill. We're not
Right.
waiting for like the story to unfold. Yeah, there's a couple of subplots, but are they that interesting? Not really, you know?
Yeah, I think the movie it's way better than it is, and I think because it is creative, like the way they kind of did it, and like you said, there's a lot of things like why are you showing me this, like, but it was like you get it, like it was clever, and I think a fun drinking game would be to watch this movie, and every time the camera is like inside something, you drink
Oh,
because it happens
wow.
a lot. But yeah, and they do a lot of interesting things too. Like the very first kill, I wrote a note. It's like the guy like is like I believe he takes like a machete and is about to hack into somebody, and then immediately cuts to a guy hitting a watermelon. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff like that. To me, at first, I was kind of annoyed by it, to be honest with you, because I want to see the machete fucking hit the
Yeah.
person. But after a while, I got what they were trying to do, and it was like some of it seemed random, some of it worked. But I thought the movie was clever. Whereas for an 80's movie slasher chasing a bunch of people in a supermarket, like it was definitely more clever than like it should have been for sure. And if you want to talk about the kills, yeah, there's some like
Yeah.
really, really kind of over the top ones. My
Give me your
favorite was
favorite. Give me your
the
favorite. Yeah.
the circular saw always works for
Oh,
me. Like
yeah.
that was pretty graphic. There's like a meat hook and they take a guy's face
Um,
and just push the guy's face on the meat hook, which I'd never
ooh.
seen before. That was really cool. And a note I wrote too, I thought it was really funny. Where at one point the guy's hanging on the meat hook, and at one point the final girl, I believe, is like trying to like
Oh,
block the
Jennifer.
door.
Yeah,
She's trying
with
to block the door, and she's like pushing the dead
the
body
dead
on the meat
body
hook
like it was like a
against the
slab
door.
of meat. I mean,
Yeah,
to me, that was
I
just
thought
so
that was cool.
morbid and sick. And I was like, oh my God, like that's like, oh, when you get to that point where you just like don't care, it's like I'm just gonna use this dead body to stop this killer from like
Yeah.
coming after me. That was definitely crazy. I liked the manager when he got kind of slammed into like that paper spike
Oh, his
thing.
eye went right through his
Yeah,
eye.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And you're just like, what the hell? And yes, the setup is you're not gonna see anything like that because just like you said, it's like a close up the machete to like, oh, here we go, another off camera kill. This is gonna be stupid. And then all of a sudden they come at you with something like this paper spike thing, and it was just so brutal and gory. And you like, as soon as you saw that thing, you're like, oh, what are they gonna do with that? And
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
was like, oh, because like, yeah, again, yeah, the movie does start off. It's like kind of like, oh, this is gonna be really fucking lame, and then all of a sudden they like, nah, the first two kills that didn't really count. Like, let's get into it. It's like, oh, this is that kind of movie now, and it really got me. The other one I wrote down that I liked was the guy. I think his name was Bob. He gets his face pulverized by that crusher,
oh, the
like
cardboard baler.
the cardboard
Yeah,
baler.
yeah,
Yeah, and that
yeah.
was early.
His name
And
is Bob. Yeah,
but
that
yeah,
was.
and he like talks really weird. Like,
Oh,
who the fuck was? Like, it was so
yeah.
bizarre. It was such a weird movie.
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite. I used to have to bale some cardboard back in the
I
day when I was a young lad working in a store, and I used to hate that machine because it is terrifying. Because honestly, nothing in the world could stop that thing from compressing. Not a head, not a body, nothing. That thing just comes down. It's like a ton of 2 tons of pressure. So that was definitely sick. Yeah, when that guy gets it, the bone saw. I mean,
Mm.
there were so many things. And one thing I really liked about this film is what used to happen a lot, and I just don't know why they don't do it anymore. It's like the big montage of all the kills.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good one. It's like, oh yeah, that one too. I love when movies do that, and it always was just like an extra kind of like like this moment where you're like, oh, that was fucked up, you know, like
You
because
mean
you
like
probably
when like
forgot about it.
when like the final girl's like running through the house, for example, and then like she opens a door,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah,
someone hanging
and
there.
it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happened to that guy, and this guy's left in the bone saw, and this guy's still in the baler, and the spike is still kind of like in the guy's like it's just like that
I
montage
love
scene
that in movies. Yeah. Yeah. I
of
wouldn't call it a montage, but it's kind of like
a
a like
review.
I mean,
Oh,
it's just basically like, yeah, like just a, like you said, you just get, oh yeah, I forgot about that kill. Forgot about that guy. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Love it, man. I feel like movies should do that more because I mean that's really why we're watching these films. The storyline
No.
isn't that great. Does anyone care that's listening to us right now? Do you guys care if Jennifer escaped Craig or if he was really the bad guy? No one really cares about
I want to
that.
see, does Jennifer get with
Yeah. You talking about Dave? Is that I think that was his name.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's such a funny moment where it's like they're having this like intimate moment where they're about to kiss, and she like kisses her on like the forehead. Oh, kisses her on the
Yeah.
nose.
It's like
Kisses her on the nose, and then they just make out. It's just like it's the movie's so bizarre. Like it's like again, I think it was intentionally trying to be like comedy, like, and they just want to throw some heart in there because like it is kind of so silly and over the top. Um,
there was that moment where they're sitting there and it's like, all right, it's lunchtime. And it's like the middle of the night, and all of a sudden they all go and they eat like their sad lunches in the break room. And it totally felt like how you would feel eating lunch with like your boss, like your shitty sandwich, like and your boss is sitting there trying to be funny
he's telling you a story, and it's like
like
you
and
gotta
you
pretend to
gotta listen
laugh.
to it because he's your boss and he does tell this really strange story about like this fireman and how he found a severed head and how he was like walking, you know, with the head and it was what I think was really cool about that moment is that they actually lived that moment later on
Yeah, it was
in the
cool they brought
film
that back.
and they actually bring that back, which you just thinking it's just like a random story about this guy holding this severed head and then
He's
there's
holding
like
ahead eating a sandwich. That was the
yeah
thing. Yeah.
and Bill at one point really starts beating Craig down with a severed head. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to get to like levels of like man, this movie is really fucked up. It's like, you know what, man, just start beating someone with a head, and that's where you're at with this film. And to me, it just keeps going like that, level up, level up, level up to absurdity, and it just like man, it just hits for me. It definitely hits for me. I like all these crazy things happening, and I do like the mundane in this film. I don't know why I do like it. It works for me in this film. It doesn't work as well in Night of the Demons, but it just works for me well here. So I like it. I like when they're like cleaning like the cash registers and they're like, you know, stocking the beer shelves. I don't know why I like it.
It's almost like again like you're watching a different movie, right? That just kind of like turns into a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it is the movie is absurd, right? Like I do think the reveal of who the killer was is a
Yep.
bit absurd. Doesn't make any sense, but like
No.
it probably wasn't supposed to. But I was like, oh, that's the killer. Like I was kind of like that wasn't what I expected, but I was kind of like that didn't make any sense. But like whatever, it's Intruder.
Banana peel, and
Yeah,
they're
it's
like, you
yeah.
know, we have like 5 minutes left to film. We need to wrap this up, and what are
Yeah,
we gonna do?
I just wish they would have kind of like hinted a little bit that that could have been the. But again, this isn't that kind of movie. It could have been better, basically, if it was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, because you know it's not Craig. Like, you just know that's like it's too much of a red
Too
herring,
too obvious.
right?
Yeah.
But I wish they kind of would have done a little bit. And then I do think again, it does drag when it gets to final girl mode, and then it gets like it's like there's some like how absurd like this like bothered me. I don't know if this bothered you, but at the very end. Craig is like beating the killer with like a meat cleaver,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he keeps hitting him, but like he's not like cutting him. It's like almost like it's so like he's like hitting him like almost like it's like a blunt object, but it's a
Yeah,
meat cleaver.
but it's a meat cleaver. Like he should have been down for the count. He guy shouldn't
Yeah,
have
it was
like
like kind of silly the way they filmed it, but I think they probably had like one take to get and they ran out of money, and then they just said, "Fuck it." It's just that it is what it is. No one's gonna care. Yeah. Also, we're remembering that like in the '80s, you're watching this on like a shitty screen and like not
yeah,
watching it
so
on
it
my
probably
really
looked
nice
like
TV.
badass. And I mean, honestly, Craig was kind of a badass, and he like took on like the whole store at one point, like fighting them off. It's like
Kind of, yeah.
why couldn't he take out this one guy with the meat cleaver? So yeah, it was a little corny, a little silly at the end, and I guess he kind of becomes like the good guy suddenly because he's not the killer. And I don't think it matters if we reveal who the killer is. This movie is like 45
Doesn't
years
matter. Yeah,
old, so
it doesn't make you
I
enjoy it
mean,
any less.
I mean, if we want to do a poll right now, anyone listening, are you guys going to go watch this film or are you not going to watch this film after we talk about it? I mean, I'm hoping that like we're inspiring you to like go check it out and try something different, but I don't think we're spoiling anything here because you should definitely just be looking at the kills and I don't think the mystery elements of this film really make any different or even make sense for that matter. Doesn't matter who the killer is. And if you're like me, you knew who the killer was and you still watched the film. And I watched this quite a few times. You know, I like this film. I watch it probably whenever I think of it. So, you know, it's always a good one to come on, and probably because it feels like a slasher. To me, if you're like, what is a slasher film? It's this. It's exactly
Yeah,
this.
I agree.
Like
An
some
80s slasher movie. It feels
80s
like an 80s
slashers.
slasher movie.
Yeah, sometimes they get a little over the top with like nudity and things like that. And I do find that like funny. I do find that like, you know, entertaining and stuff like that. But if you're like, what is really like an 80s slasher? To me, it's this. You know, it's a little cheesy, it's a little gory, and you know, it's just it's kind of fun, but at the same time kind of gross. So I think to me that's why I chose this film for this particular episode, just because it feels like a slasher to me.
And this doesn't have nudity, right?
Nah, there's no nudity in
I
this.
mean,
I
it
don't.
doesn't need it, but like I was just wondering if it is. The one other note I had before we could wrap this one up is I will say the sound design is really good with the kills. It's like they do a really good job with like the squelching noises and like, you know,
Oh
when like a
yeah.
head's getting crushed, like they did a really good job with the sound where it's like even when the things you don't see, you're kind of like, ooh, that's like gnarly. I feel like they like for a movie like this, like that really worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, like the things that they did really well every time I watch it is surprising. It feels like they had like this like huge budget or like extreme talent. I don't know what it was. It could have something to
Probably
do
more
with
talent,
like,
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it probably has something to do with Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi and all them being involved with this film for some reason. They probably were just trying to help this guy like make a great film, and like, you know, maybe Sam Raimi's like, oh, I'm gonna help you with these cool camera shots, and you know, and so you could kind of see like the influences here and there to make like this weird movie, but it does feel like probably three or four directors
Yeah.
were involved with this because some things are just really good, and then some things like dialogue and you know acting wasn't that great, you know.
Yeah, no, they definitely they again they spent a lot of time on certain things and certain things not. So like yeah, I think there was probably like a handful of like certain days like maybe Sam Raimi was not on set certain days and like you
They're
know
like, I don't know. What do you think? It's like,
I don't know,
I
hit record, we're good.
don't. Yeah,
Action.
we're gonna do it. But before we wrap this one up, I do want to say during that final girl scene, I do like when Jennifer is running around and she decides to hide in that popcorn display. I'm like, this is brilliant.
You
I'm
love
like
popcorn.
this I love popcorn, and this feels like such like a hide and seek cat and mouse kind of game, and that really like embodies it because what bothers me the most in films is when someone's being chased by a killer and they never hide. Like they literally never hide, or if they do hide, they'll hide underneath like a blanket or hide underneath a bed. They don't make any real effort to actually conceal themselves from the killer. And I thought hiding within a display was pretty genius. And if it wasn't for like her bloody nose or whatever it was, she wouldn't have been found there.
Oh yeah, that
And
was cool. That was really
yeah,
cool.
that it was clever. It was clever. It was clever that she found a place to hide. It was clever how she got found. And I think that's cool. And I just wish like even modern films did that because it happens all the time where people are being chased by a killer, but they don't hide. You know, it's like they hide behind like a tire. They, you know, they go behind a curtain. They don't really try to like hide. And I thought that was like a good effort. And I'm like, you know, that's what someone would really do if they're being chased. Like you can't get out, you can't do
Yeah.
anything. I better find a good hiding space, and that hiding space better be unconventional where someone's not going to look. And I just thought they nailed it right then. And I thought that was like definitely again like I know you don't like those long kind of moments with like that whole chase scene, and it's like, oh, you know, how many times she gonna get found before something happens? Either she gets away or the killer gets killed or whatever. Like I get it. It's pretty formulaic, you know, a lot of times at the end of like a film like this. But I just thought that was an interesting take to break up that scene a little bit.
Yeah, and they did something very similar in the movie we're going to talk about next, Slumber Party Massacre, where at the very beginning of the movie, Brinks Stevens is hiding and she's bleeding from she already got hit with
Mm,
the drill, and he
hmm.
sees like the blood coming under the door, and she's trying to like clean it up. She's like trying to like wipe it up so it doesn't go
She
under the door, but it's
knows.
like too
Yeah,
much blood, and
too
that's how she
much.
gets found. So it's something like I thought was a kind of very similar to that. So yeah, I get it. Again, I think this movie was clever. It was better than it should have been. Did I really enjoy it? Not so much.
Oh,
However,
wow.
I am gonna watch it again because I do think now that I kind of know the vibe of it, like I think I could kind of get into it more. And I think I don't know what my expectations were for it, but I kind of again fell into that trap that you do with demons where it's like, come on, like let's get this movie going. So
I could see that.
I'm gonna rate this movie. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Hmm.
Because didn't love it, didn't hate it. Again, I will watch it again though, and it probably will end up in my rotation. I might, but it'll be one of those that I put on, and then like I'm not overly paying attention to it, so like I kind of skip to the parts I want to watch. So I'm giving it a 2. How about you?
Man, we're just like kind of like flip-flopping here. What do you
Yeah,
think I'm gonna
yeah.
give? What do you think I'm gonna give
You're
this
gonna
one
give it
right
a
here?
4.
I'm giving it a 4. I really like this film. I try to watch it as much as I can. Again, I just find it very entertaining. I definitely gravitate more to slashers than probably you do. So for me, it's an easy thing to watch, and I enjoy it. So I'm giving this one a 4. You're giving it a 2. So we're just gonna flip it
All right,
and
flip it,
let's
baby.
cheers. All
Cheers.
right.
All right, good. We talked about 2
Man.
movies. I'm
Oof.
ready to like go home and wrap
Yeah,
this up.
and
And
no, man, we got a few more we got a few more
ah,
films left, and I mean that's kind of crazy. I can't believe that we went through 2 films and we have 2 left. And you know, I think the real problem that's about to happen now is that we're about to do another drinking game, Rich.
yeah, that's a problem. Because I'm like, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could literally see my eyes.
Uh,
One of them's open.
they're going down,
One's
and
crooked. One's looking into the left. One's looking to the right. But I'm still like kind of here. So yeah, I'm. This is gonna go off the rails, but fuck it. We committed, and we're gonna do this.
we
So
committed.
you
We got 2 films left, and it's going to be a long night. We already knew what we were getting into when we started tonight, and it's about to get a little longer now because
woo.
not only did a few weeks ago did we invent the hottest
Oh
drinking game
no.
on earth called Progressive Sips Trivia. Today I took it up a little bit of a notch, Rich. So the way we're gonna end this episode is going to be just like this. Are you ready?
Actually,
I have 3.
oh shit. One, two, three. Before we get to that, I have an idea. So you know the drinking game I said with Intruder, where every time there's like the camera's
Hmm.
inside something. We should watch that, and
Hmm.
maybe we could live stream it. We'll watch it. We'll play a Progressive
We'll
Sips
do it.
drinking game,
That
where
we
every
could do
time
that.
you need to
We're gonna
drink
keep
more.
going up once.
All right, all right.
So
So I see
so
one, two, three. Jerry's
see
holding up
one,
3
two,
cards.
three, 3 cards here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little game of Progressive Sips trivia. And how we're gonna do this is you're gonna pick one of these numbers. I have no idea what this is because my wife actually labeled these. That's not my nice handwriting. So I have no idea what's behind inside of these envelopes here. And I'm going to tell you right now, out of these 3, 2 are movies that we're reviewing tonight, and 1 is just a movie you watched.
Oh no! Fuck.
And I have no idea the number that one is, but I know it's in here. And You're gonna have to make a really tough choice.
Okay, so I pick one, two, or three. I'm gonna pick number three.
Number three. Okay. All right, people. Was he right? Slumber Party Massacre.
Okay, all right. But here's something I will say. So I watched some since we did take a week off from me being sick. I did watch Slumber Party probably 3 weeks ago, so my memory of it is not so great.
Yeah, well, just to refresh everyone's memory, this is a really tough game, but it is 50-50. It is true or false. And
Oh God, I'm
we
terrified.
we have a number of questions here, and whatever number that question is correlates to a number of sips that someone has to take. So if Rich gets it right, I take the sips. If he gets it wrong, he takes the sips, and they progress for each and every question. Yeah, and
So
you should be happy, man. It is Slumber Party Massacre. I
I'm
mean,
not happy.
uh, let's see here. All right, we're gonna start like this. Ready? In the film Slumber Party Massacre, Trisha's family told her they keep the potato chips under the sink. True or false?
Dude, what the fuck?
It
Are you
seems
serious? You know what? Because that's ridiculous, I'm gonna say true.
it is true. It was like one of the first. It was like one of the first lines in the film,
Oh my God,
and,
that's
and it's
funny.
it's
Like, why
so
would they be
absurd.
under the sink?
It's so absurd that you're just like whatever. And Trish is the one who hosts the party, so it's like why the hell would they be keeping chips underneath the sink? I mean, even in the 80s, no one. You keep the cleaning products in
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
garbage
say,
can there.
yeah, I wouldn't put any food under my sink. That's disgusting.
All right, so you got one right. So you're doing good. You're doing
All
good,
right,
man.
yeah, one
All
for
right, all
one.
right. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm terrible. I don't know.
All right.
Fuck.
There are 9 kills in this film.
Fuck. It's funny. I like wrote that down, and now it's not in my notes for some reason. I must have like deleted it. You know what? Okay. The whoops. Hold on. The classic line that he says is, what is it, about six so far?
Yeah,
When they say, "What's the damage about six so far?" So I'm gonna say there's more than nine. I'm gonna say it's false.
false. You're right, man. It's false. There's 12. So
Yeah.
I'm up to 2 sips, man. Tonight is not working out for me.
Yeah, so there's a scene early in the movie, maybe it's like the halfway point where they're expecting the pizza delivery guy to come and they ask, "What's the damage?" like referring to how much it's going to cost, and the killer's on the other side of the door and he says about six so far, and if you
Yeah,
I
that's
always found that really
awesome.
funny.
Funny
Um,
moment.
yeah.
And we'll probably just, kind of go right into that film after this, being that this is like
If I survive,
the,
yeah.
the questions here. There's only a couple left here. All right. They smoke Northern Lights marijuana in this movie.
Oh.
It's a big moment. All they do is talk about this weed for like 2 minutes.
I'm gonna say no, it's Maui Zowie, I think they smoke, right?
You're right.
False.
You're right. Well, man, you're kicking ass. And progressive Sitch trivia, as usual, is going wrong with Jerry.
All
So
right, that's three.
he's already up to 6 sips. Mm. Okay. Billy Idol was on the cover of the Playgirl magazine that they were looking at.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, because I was like, I gotta get that issue. No, I'm gonna say false.
God damn it. You're
Ah,
right.
uh,
I'll
who
take an
was on
extra
the
sip
cover?
if you tell me who it was.
No, I don't know. I don't. Wait. Is it Rob Lowe?
Stallone.
Oh, that's right. I have a note on that too because I thought that was really funny.
Oh.
I should have reviewed my notes before this.
You had no idea. You were picking random questions here. You have no
I do have
clue.
a
It
note
was
about
still.
Stallone because I thought that was so funny that she's reading a Playgirl with Stallone on it.
All right, listen.
I did write down the body count too. I have it right here. Hold on.
All right, so Rich,
Yeah.
I just finished my bourbon, man, and I completely failed at that. You got all of them right, even
Woo!
though you had no idea that
No
this was
idea.
about to happen. But I did have one more question,
Oh shit.
and it's a bonus question worth 10 sips. So
10
whoever
sips.
whoever gets this right, the other person's going to have to get 10 sips after it.
10
So
sips on a question is the biggest
10
thing we've
sips
ever
on
done
a
before.
big, it's huge. And we're both feeling it from tonight, but I'm willing to roll the dice if you're willing to roll the dice. So the question is, are you going to answer and take this bonus question?
Okay, I'm going to take this bonus question for 10 sips, the biggest sips we've ever done. However, audience, you're gonna have to tune in next week to find out, the next episode, to find out if who gets it or not. So why don't you, Jerry, why don't you ask the question, and you'll just have to find out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
What's the question for 10 sips?
For 10 sips. And this is a big part of this entire film. So this is really relevant. It's not actually about the film. It's just about the film. So
Okay.
listen,
Okay,
you're going to get it. You're going to get it in a second. You're going to be like, what is he talking about? You're going to get it in 1 second. Are you ready? True or false? Cordless drills did not exist in 1982.
Wow, that's a good question. All right, you could follow us on Instagram at horrorheadspodcast or email us at horrorheadspodcast@gmail.com. Tune in next episode where we're going to talk about Slumber Party Massacre and Chopping Mall and find out if I get the question right and Jerry does 10 sips or I fail miserably. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Oof.